What's up, guys? Happy Halloween. So the XFL revealed their logos for the 2023 season today, and I figured I'd come on here and talk about them because I did that for the original XFL and the USFL, and honestly, I'm pretty underwhelmed with these logos, so I figured I'd just come on here and go in depth on my thoughts of each specific logo. So here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the Renegades, and I'll put up a picture of what the Renegades logo used to look like. It was like this badass cowboy silhouette, and it was the best logo in the XFL by far. And now they've rebranded to the Arlington Renegades, not sure why, but whatever. And their new logo genuinely could not be worse. It's like this simplistic R, but it looks like shit because it's kind of like cut in half. Like, what was wrong with the cowboy? Did they not have the licensing for the cowboy anymore? Who sat down in a focus group and said, yes, this crappy looking R is better than that great cowboy logo we had in 2020? This is an absolute 0 out of 10, absolutely disgusting. Alright, next we got the DC Defenders, and last time they had like this little shield logo. It wasn't anything special, but this new one is just boring. It's just a D with a C inside it, and there's a star for it, I guess, because DC's the capital. But this logo is really boring. I would have preferred the old one, but that one honestly wasn't great either. But I still feel like this is a downgrade. I know in modern corporate America they love simplicity, and the XFL seems to have a hard-on for simplicity when you consider logos like these and the new league logo. But yeah, just not a fan of this one either. It's not abhorrent like the Renegades one. I think I'll get used to it, but just not a fan. Next is the St. Louis Battlehawks, and not really many changes to report here. They added a couple shading lines, like there's some shading on the sword and the wings are a little bit different, but it's more or less the same. The differences aren't too noticeable. Unless you have them side by side, but really they'd be dumb to change this up at all given how popular the Battlehawks were last time. So yeah, not really any change to report here, but you know, don't mess with success. Next is the Orlando Guardians, and not wild about this one either. They basically just took the New York Guardians logo and gave it the Tampa Bay Vipers color scheme. I'm not sure why they decided to do that instead of just moving the Vipers to Orlando and just keeping everything else the same. But to me, this immediately feels like a missed opportunity, because this isn't the worst logo in the bunch, but, you know, what's in Orlando? When you think of Orlando, you think of oranges and Disney World, right? Or maybe like the space program. And I know that the XFL has some TV deals done on Disney associated networks. So to me, like, they just opened a new Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Disney World, and I feel like there's some like riff that you could have done on this. Like, what if the Orlando Guardians mask kind of resembled Star-Lord's mask? Or what if the logo was like a raccoon to be like Rocket Raccoon of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I don't know what this weird... Like, the New York Guardians logo looked more like a lion. This looks like a badger, I guess. Maybe a bear. I don't know. When I look at that logo, my thought isn't Guardians. But, I mean, it could be worse, but it's not great. Vegas Vipers is another just bleh one. You know, I can kind of understand the decisions they made with bringing the Vipers to Vegas instead of the Guardians, because Vegas Vipers has some alliteration to it, and then they gave them the New York Guardians color scheme with the black and red to kind of more fit the feel of Sin City, Vegas. But honestly, I'm not really feeling anything about this team. Like, I guess it's the best they could do with their whole... Because it's obvious they want very simplistic logos, right? But I'm just not a simplistic logo guy, so I just don't like the look. Next, we have the Houston Roughnecks logo, and honestly, this is the only one that improved, in my opinion, because the last one was basically just a ripoff of the Houston Oilers to the point where they got sued by the NFL. And this one, like, you can still tell it's supposed to be an oil rig, but it's an H, and I think it looks pretty good. That's probably the nicest thing you'll hear me say about the logos today, though. Next is the Seattle Sea Dragons, and I just have to say, what the hell were they thinking on this? Like, first off, last time we had the Seattle Dragons, and they had this nice dragon logo, right? And that was it. It was fine. But now, I guess the Rock's like, hey, they have the Kraken, Mariners, and Seahawks. Let's fit in with the sea theming by putting sea in front of the Dragons. I don't like it at all, and instead of that cool dragon logo we got last time, It's just like an S that kind of has dragon features on it. Not a fan. Bring back the old logo. And I don't think anyone's going to call them the Sea Dragons either. I think they're just going to get called the Dragons. And for our last logo, we have the San Antonio Brahmas. Now, why are they the Brahmas and not the Brahma Bulls? Because I feel like when a lot of people hear just the name Brahma, they're not going to know what it is. But whatever, it's the Rocks brand, the Brahma Bull brand, whatever. And the Brahma Bull logo on his brand is so much better than this logo. Like, if you know that it's a bull, you can kind of see, like, the cow head outline in it, right? But if you didn't know what a Brahma was, if you never heard the term Brahma Bull, you probably wouldn't really be able to tell what this logo is. Same thing goes for the Vipers. Like, if you covered up the name Viper, you wouldn't really be able to tell what that logo is. So yeah, I like the branding of the San Antonio Brahmas. You know, it's a very, very clear representation of the Rock's input on there, because that was his nickname, the Brahma Bull and all that. But the execution just frankly is not great. And yeah, that's all I have to say for the logos today. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I'm really curious to see what everyone else thinks about these logos. Maybe I'm just wrong and I'm in the minority, but not a fan.